What is going on with you, YouTube? This is Regular Dave coming at you with another video. I know this game has been talked about ad nauseum for about a week and a half, but I just finished the game maybe 2 days ago. The Let's Play is going to be over today. The final episode is going to be out, so I felt it was my civic duty to do a review and tell you exactly what I thought about the game, because I said I would during playing the game. All right, man, let's start it off. Look, before I bought this game, I read the reviews, man. I saw GameSpot's 5 out of 10. I saw, I think IGN gave it a 6.4. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna buy the game anyway, because there's no way that it could be that bad. Well, after playing this game for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, I was like, you know what, they weren't that far off. Well, my opinion changed the further I got in the game. It started getting better. And by the time you get to the end of the game, it reached about a 7 in my opinion. Now, let's talk about the game. Let's talk about the things I like and a whole bunch of things I dislike. All right, I feel like this is a game of what could have been. The graphics in this game are absolutely amazing. I don't own a gaming PC, so I've never played a game that looks this good. The detail, the textures, the scene, the mood they create is perfect. I don't think Ready at Dawn could have done a better job with the visuals of this game. It's just a great experience to look at, and that's kind of what keeps you in the game throughout the game. The story's decent. It's not the greatest story ever. It's not bad, but it's the visuals. Looking at, wow, like this is what the next generation looks like. I feel like that is what this game does well. Now, when you're talking about what this game does well, that's pretty much where you can stop. That is pretty much where greatness ends. Not everything else is done bad, but the problem with this game to me is it's chock full of potential, so much that you want to knock the score down because you could see where this game could have went. This literally could have been PlayStation's answer to Gears of War, and it didn't come close. Now, let's talk about some things that are really disappointing. One, this game committed my cardinal sin, my cardinal error in games that are majority story and cutscenes. Look, I don't have a problem playing those games. I played The Wolf Among Us, I played The Last of Us, I played Life is Strange, I played Last Generation Indigo Prophecy. I play a whole bunch of games that are all story, so I don't have that problem. But the problem I have is that when there is action, I would like to control it. When there's something going on, when you're running away from somebody, when you're fighting somebody, when you're doing anything, since the action is so far and few between, I would like to control it when there is action on the screen. The game started off from the very beginning letting me know how it's gonna be. There's a part where you press a button, it's like a QTE, and you get away from the guy, something happens, and then you end up stabbing him in the neck. Now, I don't care if it's a QTE, I don't care what it is, but let me control stabbing the guy in the neck, since you know what, it's gonna be another 5 minutes till I get some more action. I just wanna control it when there is action. Now, let's talk about some of the major disappointments. This is, to me, the biggest disappointment. The guns are so dope in this game, it is ridiculous. Literally, this game has the best weaponry I've ever played in a video game. The way they look, the way they feel, the way they sound when they shoot, just the way they crafted, everything about the guns in this game are dope. How is that a problem? It doesn't matter what gun you use when you're facing the enemies. The enemies start off, and all the way through the whole game, you're facing the same guys over and over. It's not like you have to change weapons. It really doesn't matter, so it makes the guns insignificant. The enemy, you fight this common soldier that, you know, is not different from anybody else. Every now and then you fight this one guy that wears all this armor who's extremely easy to beat. And I suck as a gamer, and he's extremely easy to beat. So having all those guns that do all those different things, those science weapons or whatever they're called, and then having the enemies not matter what gun you use, this game would be 100 times better if it required some strategy when you use these guns. That was like, oh man, this game could have been so good if they required some kind of strategy. It could have prolonged the game, it could have done a whole bunch of things, but that is what this game is. It's just full of potential. Let me just throw this out here real quick, because the internet went stupid last week on the length of this game, and I could say the length wasn't an issue to me. It wasn't long, but it wasn't short in telling the story. I felt like the story ended at the right time. I do felt like I got enough game for what I purchased. You know, when you're giving a review, I don't really like to throw in the money aspect, but I do feel like I got enough game. You know, as far as the length goes, I feel like the game ended at the right time, so you could throw that out the door if you're still thinking about purchasing this game. Now, the game left itself wide open for a sequel. The problem is I'm not sure if it's going to get one. I can't imagine that this game is going to sell all that well, saying that anybody from now on that goes to buy a copy is probably going to be able to find a used copy at GameStop, because they didn't give you any replay value in the game. It's a, you know, not a short game, but it's not a long game, so, and there's nothing to do afterwards whatsoever. So why on earth, unless you're just a collector, would you hold on to this game? So since the game is going to be used at every GameStop in America, it's not going to count as sales. So I don't know if they can invest in another proposition like this, because I can't imagine they're going to make their money back with this game. The reason why I am so irritated about this game is the potential that it did not fulfill. Not the hype, because you know what, that's their job, is to hype up this game and make us want it more than anything. That's pretty much advertising and marketing, and that's what they're supposed to do. Not the hype, but the potential once you're playing it, and it's just not realized in the game, man. The combat, we needed more of it. You know what, I love story, don't get me wrong, but the combat was so good, and there's so many things they could have done. They could have thrown in puzzles. They could have thrown in a bunch of stuff that they didn't do. Don't mind a game on rails at all, but you gotta give me something. You gotta make me think. You gotta do something other than what they did to make me really enjoy your game. So what do I give the game? I don't really like giving ratings, but it's not a 5 or a 6, man. It falls more along the lines of a 7 to me. Get active in the comments. Also spam that like button if you want to hear more reviews in the future, and I'll get at you guys another time. Peace.